I don't know, fly casual. Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Wanted to talk about this, my Imperial shuttle toy. This is in a pseudo-indoor environment here because this thing is huge and there was no way to show it off in the house. So I just thought, well, I'll bring it out here and show it off. Pardon if there's any like birds tweeting or airplanes flying. Yeah, the Imperial shuttle, it's enormous. Like this thing, when the wings are not expanded like this, it's about 21 inches from the bottom up to the top. If this thing has everything all retracted up and it's just sitting on like a bench or something like that. But if you expand the wings like this, that's about 30 inches from all these different parts of the vehicle. So it's absolutely enormous, huge in fact. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's coming out in the camera, but mine has definitely yellowed with age. I mean, look at that. I consider it, I don't know, battle damage or something. It's been to Tatooine. There we go. Yeah, it's been to Tatooine, this particular Imperial shuttle. It was all nice and pearlescent white like shuttle Tiderium when I first got it, but whatever this material is, it started to brown. You can even see there, it's got pretty obvious mottling going on where those panels are. So what I'll do here is I'll actually raise up the wings just to give you an idea. There we go. And then this handle that you can use to fly it around with is one of 3 of the landing gear. Move it closer so you can see them. There's the landing gear as well. So I'll be setting this down in a minute to give you an idea of just how tall this thing is normally. But yeah, that's the other configuration. The handle does in fact have like a little trigger there that you can pull, which is normally supposed to make the wings just gracefully drop open. I think the teeth inside the gears here, you can actually see there where that mechanism would happen. Over time they've gotten a little bit sticky and not great, so I'm actually doing it manually these days. I mean, theoretically, put the gear back up, theoretically I should be able to just hold it, pull the trigger, and these would just gracefully drop down, but they're not doing it now, so I got to sit here and force it open. There, you get a little bit of the idea of the action there. But yeah, what a great toy. Now, what else can I show you? So the guns have gotten very loose over time. And again, the yellowing. It's maybe not to scale with the action figures, but it's pretty huge. So if it's not to scale, it's pretty darn close. And I'll be showing you this thing with one of the figures in a second. But I just wanted to give you an idea of just how massive this toy is. And detailed as well. What I'll do is have like a half and half here just to show you the inside and the outside of the wings. But you can see they've really done, once again, a great job with all the different little panels, the gears here. Okay, that gun keeps getting stuck, but regardless. You got a little vent there. The cockpit has got some instrumentation inside. I'll show you that in a second. Even the join that keeps the the various panels together, that has little greeblies inside there. There's the other side of the wing, just to give you an idea, and yeah, even the underside. Really, really nice level of detail. One thing that you'll also notice, it has a little ramp here so that you can actually have people walk up and down. I'll do that in a moment. Let me show you inside the cockpit. So now let me show you the cockpit here, and it actually opens from the back so that you can get your figures inside. You can see it's, once again, you've got little leg areas for the 2 crew members to stand in there. You've got a whole bunch of instrumentation. There's the other side of the ramp. And there's even a little area back here. So much like in the film, there could be a crew of rebel troopers or stormtroopers back there, all of which would be able to make themselves using the shuttlecraft. And what's really cool, you can make it out, up here there's even a little sticker up there that shows you what... I guess that would just be some bulkheads, some piping, some wiring, etc. One of my favorite parts is actually around the rear. This looks very much like in the film. This is sort of the engine core, if you will. And the light blue has maintained its sort of flare and glow over all these years. Like you'd think Any kind of a light blue sticker would be most likely to start to fade over time, but this still looks pretty much like it did on the very first time I opened it up. There's a button here. Now it doesn't actually do anything because that was where the batteries, you'd have the batteries in here, and they would basically make one of those, I guess it's supposed to be blaster fire, but it's really just a grindy sound of like a little cog spinning in a plastic spoke, kind of like cards in a bicycle spoke, kind of an idea. And you've even got a little turret here. Now this one has, it's still held on there, but there's one of the two tabs holding it in place is not great. So it's doing well for its age, much like all of us. But yeah, that was just kind of a neat feature that they added that. Also, if you wanted to make a little assault team assemble inside here, you can actually open up this side panel, and there is a little area there complete with some stickers and little pegs for the figures to stand on, some vents, and even some controls inside there. There is like a whole little play area inside there, which is pretty impressive for, I mean, it's a huge toy, so yeah, you've got lots of room to work with, but considering they didn't really need to do that, no scenes took place in that part of the shuttle. I'm very glad that they did. I guess that way you could store a whole bunch of different figures inside there. I'm even going to try this angle here just to zoom in to give you an idea of what's inside there. Sorry for the shaky camera, but you can see, yeah, there you go. There's a little staircase, instrumentation. You can even see where the crew would sit and pilot the vehicle. Very impressive bit of work. Like, what a great toy. So now that the shuttle has landed on this landing platform, let's just show you the disadvantage that this huge toy has. If I try to recreate the famous scene from Return of the Jedi where Vader descends down the gangplank, here he is, and unfortunately it's just too small even for him. Like for such a big toy, you can see there's no way he's gonna clear that little lip there on the vehicle. I remember in the film his helmet just barely goes past that little lip there. But in this case, a disadvantage is, as big of a toy as this is, it's still not to scale with the figures. Alright, well, despite that one disadvantage, this is still a pretty cool toy, and if not in scale, pretty darn big. So let me see if I can carefully get the wings down, and we'll launch. There we go. We'll launch from Endor, and we'll see you down the rabbit hole.